guys, it's Leanne Scott here from Move Smarter and introducing, if you haven't met him already, Skully. Today, if you couldn't tell, we are talking about bras. In a big picture type aspect and in details. So let's start with the detail first. We wear bras some people wear bras. If you wear them, a lot of people wear them most of the time, if not every single day. And when you do wear them in a day, I would say a majority of the day is spent wearing them. So it's really important that you get something that allows you to continue to move with freedom, especially in the rib cage, thoracic, spine area. That's the middle part of of your spine. And it is also the part of the spine that all of the ribs articulate onto and go all the way around to the front and then come up into the sternum. So that thoracic part of the spine, sort of from here to here, is vital in terms of movement. It needs to have clean, concise, called upon mobility. And when you wear something on it, in an area, in the same area, every day, all day, you can sort of start moving around the bra instead of the bra working for you. And it can end up limiting your mobility, even decreasing your mobility, which we'll get into, and it can cause you pain. So because it's that important, I really want you to listen up. I'm going to give you my ingredients of what I look for in a bra if you want to wear one and you feel you need to wear one, what to look for to have the best bra you can have. And it's different for everybody. Make sure that you hear what I have to say and then, customize it to you. But I'm just going to put out the best things that I know and you decide from there and work for there. So, number one, and this, in my opinion, is one of, and I'll mention the other one in a bit, one of the most important points. If you can find a bra that at the back does not have a clasp. So in this type of scenario, I pull mine over my hips and put it on like I would a tank top. The reason I really dislike clasps is because of this. When you clasp, you literally do clasp. It pulls the tonus together and then hooks in. And what that does, first off, is you do it on the same place approximately every single day for as many hours as you wear a bra a day. And that means if it's a small clasp, it's on one or two of this exact same vertebrae every day. If it's a wider clasp, then it's on 2, 3, 4, even 5 vertebrae, but it's the same ones every day that are clasped together. And what happens from a muscular standpoint, or a tonus standpoint, is the tonus or muscles around that area get snug because they're literally contracted by something that you're putting on your body. And then that area is snug and it's supposed to be able to move and to arch and to round and to do all these wonderful things. And when it's contracted and not moving, other parts of you have to do more work. And they have to do movements or work that maybe they're not built to do. And they'll do it for a while, but then all of a sudden you'll start complaining about, say, shoulder pain or even frozen shoulder. And it's because the area really close to that clasp is doing double duty, for lack of a better word. So you can actually cause yourself huge pain just from a clasp in the back of your bra. So if you can find something that is just material, wide material, not narrow, skinny, but wide, nice, soft material that allows these vertebrae to move freely as they are built to move, that's incredibly important. And it's not the easiest thing to find. I do know that there is a company that is all about movement in the bras, and they still had a clasp in the back, and they just came out with one that doesn't have one. So you have to, if you're looking online as example, make sure if they have videos or they have pictures of the back, look, because it may look like a fantastic bra from the front, but if it has a clasp, I just swipe by and keep on going. This is one of, like I said earlier, one of the key ones that I just don't do anymore. I don't do clasps. Okay, moving on. Number 2, and this will be shorter, is I want this fabric that comes from the back that's nice and wide to continue under the armpit. I don't like when they taper down really small and niggly, because if something is small, it can sort of roll over, the fabric can roll over itself, pinch onto your ribs. It's just more spatial, for lack of a better word, and it's not pinpointing a rib. You want this bra to sort of never get niggly. That's what you're looking for. Okay, so that's easy. Just the continuation of the fabric on the side, not tapered small. Number 3, and this is the other one that I find to be vital. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because it's pretty common sense. Now, I'm not the only one talking about it. No more wires. Enough. Enough with the wire. We are not meant, I'm just going to do something, we're not meant to be sitting up here. That's not how we're built. It became a thing, it became a fashion thing, it became whatever it became and wherever it came from. But a wire will poke, again, it'll niggle you, and you'll pull, from a neurological standpoint, when you have a niggle, for lack of a better word, you even unconsciously will begin to pull away from that area. So if I'm just standing all day everywhere, and I'm going to exaggerate it so you can see it, say I have a niggle right here from the wire. If I do that and pull away from it, and I continue to move my day like this, that's a problem. That's not how we're structurally built to be. So you never want anything digging into you, and wires often do. I had a bunch of them my life growing up, and they'd even come through the fabric and like literally poke you past a niggle. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. That's why I'm not going to spend a ton of time. There's a whole bunch of stuff about it going towards the glands in there. There's different concepts or different modalities that talk about it, just saying no more. So no wire. And if you look, this has a little cup shape in it, but there's no wire. There's just no wire. Okay, keeping going on. Enough about the wire. The other thing that I would look for, it's not mandatory, but it is for me, is I don't like racer backs, the ones the straps that come in and go down the back. They're not as bad as a clasp, but they do the same kind of thing. They tell your brain, because they pull that way, to sort of come together in the shoulder blades. Again, I'm exaggerating so you can see it, but this sort of starts to happen because the fabric is pulling it. And again, we're not meant to be like this. And if we move from this position, it will cause issues. And I know some of you right now are probably thinking, it's just extreme. Like, what are we? Like, are we so dainty? No, we are an information system. And if the information that we're getting, the human being is an information system. If we are getting information that this area is supposed to be clasped and tight, that's what we become. And like I said, we're wearing this every day, all day. This is not something silly. This is huge. So when you use the racer back, it does change your muscularity and your tonus in that area. I would prefer it to go over the shoulder. Now, I'll very quickly say why I prefer it over the shoulder, because it's just equally distributed. It's not pulling in one area. And I think that's enough said. You'll understand that. Now, it doesn't have to be spaghetti straps. It can be the wide band strap. But if you can, I definitely want you to get that little toggle that you pull up and down, because, as I said earlier in the video, you can customize it then. So I made it too tight on Skully, lifted him on the side. Everybody's height and back, waist, and torso length is different. So you definitely want something that is customizable, so it's not riding up or it's not too long and gapping. And the only problem I found, but you may find them out there, the ones that are not this type of strap, but they sort of just continue on and are a wide strap, a lot of those don't have the toggle. They just are what they are and you put them on. If you try it on and it works for you, perfect. If you find though that it starts falling off, that's another reason I like the toggle. For the exact same reason of all the things I've been talking about. If you know that this thing is beginning to fall off of you while you're having your day, you will start lifting to keep it on. Even if it's a millimeter lift, that is a contraction, a neurological muscular contraction that your brain has to do to keep that strap on, and you will be doing it all day, every day, every split second. And that busies the brain. It isn't as available to move well, and then you're constantly got your arm up like this. Again, I'm exaggerating in terms of so you can see it, but the brain is very smart. The nervous system is incredibly intelligent. Something that is little can be big, represented big in the brain. So you don't want to keep the bra on, and you don't want to reach differently because you know if you reach down here, the strap's going to fall off. So that's why I like the toggle. And I'm going to, the last one is a lot of people will say to me, great. It's not the last one, but it's sort of the last one in terms of the ingredients. People will say, wonderful, I'll just go buy a sports bra. Well, some sports bras, sure. They're not all terrible. But in my opinion, every sports bra I have found has almost been like what I like to call wetsuit material. It's super dense, it's super heavy. Because of all the things that it needs to do, we decided that that we just will make it thick and that will hold us up. That I don't like, because if the whole rib cage is being held by like wetsuit material, you don't get to do all the beautiful movements you need to do in order to move well when you reach, when you run, anything, because you're being held. And again, people will probably say, well, I can move around that. Don't restrict yourself, especially in this area. It's vital. And so, as an example, this material is, obviously you can't touch the material, but it's very soft. It doesn't have, by the way, an elastic going across the bottom. It has a little bit of something that's a little different down here than it is up here, but it's not tight, because you don't want a tight elastic that pinches in these ribs. But the whole thing is just light and airy. Now, for the women that are larger busted, they're going to be like light and airy. That's not going to work for me. There are bras, and I'm going to put it in the link in the description. I have reached out to fellow practitioners like I am, neurological therapists like I am, that are bigger busted women, and ask them what they wear. And I have some links to share with you that are going to be maybe a titch more supportive and not so flimsy. And hopefully that will help if you are larger busted and you need a little bit more. I will also say, I'm sort of jumping around, but it's coming to my brain. Stepping into something and doing this is much easier, by the way, than putting it over and trying to get your shoulder. So don't do that. And this business, trying to clasp, even when I wore a clasp bra when I was young, before I knew all about this, I still did it in the front and turned it around. I don't know if anybody clasps anything behind them, especially if they're doing 2 or 3. It just makes more sense. It's smarter to do something like this. And I will also say that if you find something like this, but it's in a full tank top and you're fine with that, do that. Because then it goes all the way down. Some of them will just go a little past the waist. It's super comfortable all the way down. It feels soft. And there's definitely then no band right around here. And it's sort of, how do I say this? You become more of a full torso instead of cut off in this area. It's really, really, really important. It's funny because I've been putting up I put up some reels and some little posts saying, this video coming, and shorts, etc. And wow, I got a lot of private messages that was like, please, don't let me miss this. My bra, I've always had terrible problems with bras. I've always felt uncomfortable. I need to know what these ingredients are. And the reason I got such an you know, a lot of attention was because it's a problem. Foundationally, bras have changed more in the last 3 to 5 years, in my opinion, than since the dawn of when bras were made. This business, brand new. The no clasp, the no wire, brand new. I've been running a neurological clinic for about 10 years now, and at the beginning of this clinic, I was like, just wear a tank top, because this didn't exist. I couldn't find it. So the reason people are so intense and write in a lot about it is because there hasn't been much of an option. It's been like wired and clasps and biting into the shoulder and too short. And the other thing I'll say is a lot of people also wrote me and said, I went to a specialty shop once I saw your reel about like the quick information that I gave on the reel and the short. And they were like, I went to the specialty shop and these people knew nothing about any of this. They're the experts and they didn't know anything. It's not that they didn't know anything. It's just that what they know is what they know. And maybe their information is a little bit older, maybe, you know, whatever. But also I'd like to say that someone that comes to my clinic, one of my patients, said that she went to the bra specialty spot just a few days ago, and they 100% agreed with everything I said. And they had a lot of items, bras to show her in with those ingredients in mind. So that's great news. It's changing. Women power. We're affecting the actual bra industry. But yeah, just think about what is comfortable for you. Remember I said at the beginning of this video that I'm going to give you what works for me. I'm going to give you what I find to be the key ingredients, especially the clasp, especially the no underwire. And then you do you. Everybody's different. Everybody has different levels of needs of support or not support. I'm here to tell you, if you don't care to wear one and it doesn't bug you in any way and you'll just wear a tank top, that's the best. Yeah, you don't want to restrict the movement of your spine. We are literally, if you've watched any of my stuff, you'll see that I always talk about us being a whole spine movement creature. And if a large section of your spine is rigidified by something that you wear, it's just plain silly. So if you have any comments, any questions, please put them, you know, write them down and send them to me, because I'm more than happy to talk about this. It's really important. This is the last thing I'll say about to show the importance. When I work hands-on with women in my clinic and I start to maneuver their vertebrae, I will often say to them, do you mind if I undo this? And their first thing is, yeah, feel free, because they hate it. So I undo it and I'm moving the vertebrae, and that area that had the clasp on it, first off, you can see it in their skin. It's all like indented and tight. That area, I'm just going to use a bad word, is kind of dumbed down. It doesn't move very well. This is what started me actually on the journey, was wow. Right where their clasp is rock solid, and that rock solid doesn't move and it doesn't have fluidity. So that's sort of what made me start thinking, we got to do something different. And the other thing I've said to them is, at the end of the session, I'll say, do you want me to do that back up? And they're like, you know what, just leave it. I'm just going to put my coat on and go to the car. If that's how you feel, or if the first thing you do when you get home is rip your bra off, that is a sign from your brain. It's not a sign from them. It's a sign from your brain saying, this is awful. This is not good for you. This is not profitable for mobility. And that's what we do. We move. And it's going to cause you problems. Like I said, frozen shoulder, but lower back issues. If this isn't moving, this has to work harder. And this is built as beautifully, but it's only built to do a certain amount. Or this has to work harder if this is dead in the water. So a lot of people will say I have neck pain or lower back pain because it's built to do a certain amount and it ends up doing more than it's built to do for a long period of time because this is lazy and, or not lazy, it's just tight. And then you get lower back pain. And I get rid of their bra, change their bra, get this moving again. And they're like, my lower back pain is gone. It's that important. So I hope that helps. Search, go out, try them on. Do not buy a bra and not try it on. And you will find that you'll, even if you tried it on, you'll get home and you'll start wearing it in the first week and you'll be like, oh, this has got a little issue. Try to fix the little issue. I'm going to be brutally honest and then I'll get off here. This bra, as much as I love it, you're probably not going to be able to see it. Oh, this is actually inside out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No, it's not. Here it is. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to bring it right up. Sorry about the burn, you guys, on my wrist. Right here, you see this little flip? That is actually on the inside, up against my skin. Right? I can tell you right where it is because it's bugging me. It's right in here. I am going to, it's the only thing, I didn't notice it when I tried it on at the store because I didn't have it on, I guess, long enough, maybe. I feel it now. I'm going to get some moleskin or something and cover that up or trim it off, but I don't really want to trim it off because it'll probably be jagged. And again, people are going to be like, oh my God, she's the princess and the pea. Kinda. It's 16, 17, 18 hours a day. Yeah, I'm going to fix it. So again, shop around, look around, use these key ingredients and do your best. And if you find a great one, please let me know because people are asking me daily where to get these. And these, by the way, are from the Real Canadian Superstore here in Canada. And they're from a brand called Joe Fresh, which is just their clothing brand inside the President's Choice Superstore. That's another, I don't know if that's the more recent name. They're tremendous. And so if you find one other than there, let me know where it is, even if it's from a different country, because people will read the comments and it's helpful. That's it. That's all. The ingredients of a good bra and what it'll do for us and what it could do to us if we don't listen and get a great bra that helps us move. And thanks, Skully. He was a really great help in this. That's it. That's all, folks. Remember, move, buy, and wear smarter. Okay, talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.